Sick.
Okay.
Are you sick, Cedric? I thought you...
I think I might have the coronavirus.
I don't know.
Fuck.
Have you fucking... What was that one thing you were gonna talk about, Andrew? You had like a story. I don't know if we're gonna open on it.
Do you want to open on it?
Well, what's
I don't
the story?
know. You said something.
Yeah.
Was it about me playing the Purpleized video in a classroom of people?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Is that a story?
Do we want that?
I mean, not much
Andrew,
happens
is there
in
a
it.
punchline?
Well, no.
They just didn't like it. I don't know. Like,
they thought it was fine until they got to the 2 Girls 1 Cup segment, and then they all started screaming and they skipped past it.
And they went, ah.
They didn't actually think that I was gonna cut to that on YouTube.
They probably did.
What happens in 2 Girls 1 Cup?
They eat shit out of a silicone... Not silicone.
Silicone!
Silicone
What's the name of this cup?
They eat silicone shit out of a silicone cup.
What do you call solo? A solo cup.
But there were 2 girls.
Is it like the gun girl?
The gun girl?
Dude,
oh,
fucking timeline. We're not opening this fucking episode talking about shit.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
No, we're not.
If you'll remember what we almost named the podcast, Cedric.
Fuck off. That was a joke.
It's fitting. No, it wasn't. We were serious
It's
about
not
it for
fitting.
Like 15
I just
minutes.
had to shit.
Speaking of shit.
Welcome
of
to
shit. No, we're not. We need to do a real opening.
You know, if we do a blooper reel, I might keep those.
That was funny.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Epic.
Fight to the finish.
All right, let's start talking about something.
What do we?
Do you wanna? Like,
Did you?
You sound fucking
Did you
drained,
hear
brother.
about the coronavirus?
Did you know that people, they get sick and they cough a lot and then they die?
Did you know that if you're like young, your chance of survival is 99.5%?
I was at the bookstore the other day.
Dab on boomers.
Yeah,
I was at the bookstore the other day, and
Right.
this old woman was hacking up a lung next to me. I wanted to die.
I guess she's got the coronavirus.
I thought you were gonna say she was hacking up a person just in your fucking.
You know,
lungs
yeah,
and
she's
just
hacking up
stabbing
a
her to
person.
death.
Well, she was
Yeah.
just perusing books, and every so often I'd hear like a.
She's a World of Horror
It's just
character.
like-
What the? Yeah, why the fuck does she sound? She has such a deep and gravelly voice.
She revving up
don't
a
know.
car.
It sounded like that, like when you cough
Yeah,
a
it
lot.
sounded like she was revving a car.
It sounded very like unhealthy, but we're opening these podcasts on old ladies dying. Like in a book.
I mean, it's better than what we were originally going for
Yeah.
at the moment. And
Right.
I don't know. It could go worse.
Yeah.
You want to go worse?
There are worse podcast openers, I'm sure.
I mean,
Let's go
look at the
worse.
first season.
Shut up.
Have you heard about Harvey Weinstein getting 23 years for sexual assault?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
That's not worse. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
What if he
He's-
also got the coronavirus? That'd be-
Apparently,
For 23
he'll
years.
last. He's only got so like set to last
For 7
5
more days.
more years before
Oh,
he just
okay.
dies
set to
due to his
last.
age.
Yeah, his time
Well,
is
yeah,
gonna
like
expire.
people are like, well, yeah, because like lawyers were like
pacemaker
20,
will
like
explode.
he's 23 years. It's like 23 years. He won't live 23 years. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, yeah, lol.
His battle royale collar is gonna explode in 5.
5 days.
Battle Royale.
5
color.
days.
Oh, that is how. Wait, was that how Battle Royale worked?
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
They had explosive collars.
Not explosive. There was a gas or whatever that came out.
There was a gas that came out. You could just outrun it.
But
I
he has
suppose so,
Harvey
but-
Weinstein has the walker now, allegedly, even though he
No,
went
he
walking
doesn't,
around a
yeah.
Target.
Yeah,
There were
no,
pictures
I
of
saw
He went
him.
on a Target run without his walker.
Man,
Just a real quick run. It's not like I'm an infamous public figure right now.
yeah.
I think it's when you get that famous, there's some sort of disconnect.
God, I keep talking about it, but I really want to find that video that it wasn't really a video, it was just an audio recording Harvey Weinstein trying to get this one girl into a shower with him.
I remember.
just to
Wait,
watch him
wasn't it?
shower.
I think I know which one you're talking about. Which one?
Yeah, it's like it's.
I think
the
I
one
know
where
what you're
he's-
talking about.
Out of the
Yeah,
collection.
it's the one where he's going like he's going just like, nah, just come on into my shower. She's like, nah,
no, I don't want to. And she's like, no, just real quick.
No, just come on, just in the
He
shower.
sounds like a guy trying
You're
to
doing
coerce someone on
Leafy's
the
But it's
Here's
like,
a
it's like
voice.
he's not. It's like, because the stereotype would be just like, you want to start your acting career, don't you? He doesn't even go that far. He's just really pathetic sounding.
Yeah.
He's just like,
It's not. You're making him sound like a
"Get in my
mobster.
shower."
He sounds like a
Yeah.
guy who's like heckling you on the street to like give them money because they throw like 4 dazzling items in your arms.
Yeah, come on, just check
your pockets. Just you must have like some money.
Andrew,
That reminds me of the
Andrew, you're
time-
doing Leafy's Here's voice.
That reminds me
Am
of the
I?
time I was
Yeah.
like, a while ago, I was walking around downtown and this homeless guy was just like going up to people, and it wasn't even an eye contact situation. Like he was just going up to random people regardless of whether or not they looked at him. And I overheard him say something just like, "Look, man, I just need money for crack." Like,
Glad I appreciate
he was
the honesty.
very honest.
I think
Fuck,
my
I'd
favorite-
give him $1.
Favorite is a bit of a weird thing
Favorite
to
crack
say.
donation
Well,
application.
there was one. I've had 2 in the town I go to school in. I'm on spring break right now, so I'm not there.
That
But
time.
there was
And you're
one time I was
also-
walking to get lunch, and there was I assume he was homeless, but he had like his hair was like disheveled. He had like writing on his stomach, like upside down.
It said damaged.
No, there was like a paragraph on his stomach, like in marker, and he was like smoking a cigarette. And he yelled something at me as I was like trying to walk to get like a burrito.
I think he was trying to read his stomach.
I guess. There was also
He was trying to warn you.
he said something. He said something like, "Look out," or like something about reckoning, most likely.
The guy from Friday the 13th.
Did he yell at you a word that ends in ER?
I think he did actually.
He said, "Hey, over there."
Sorry.
He didn't finish it.
I think my other
Okay, like
weird encounter is the
Yeah.
one where I was walking past, like I was at a grocery store and I was walking back and there was a homeless man with a sign that says "Need beer."
that sounds like it's right out of Pearls Before Swine.
I think I took a picture of it
Yeah.
actually.
You with him there?
No.
Uh,
I think I saw him again and I took a picture of it from like a car I was in.
Jesus.
That's I mean, hey, if honesty works for them, then
So,
good work.
It's a very depressingly honest look at.
boys, we're recording this early-ish. Earlier than we planned to. Because
Yeah.
I at my university
schools are
prefer
close.
like this particular microphone,
Mm-hmm.
and my university's closing for coronavirus concerns.
Yeah.
So I'm on Snapchat. Ben, I'm sure you saw it. I posted to my Snapchat story. So there's like a rock.
I don't think I saw it.
There's like a rock
Oh,
in the middle of
let's see
campus.
Rock.
Yeah, that anyone can
There we go.
paint on.
The end is nigh.
Yeah, there was a fucking. I was walking past it, and right on top of the club meeting, whatever it was, because the policy is like you have to wait 1 day before you can paint anything new on it.
Have I never
Someone
seen
painted
this rock?
something, I think the day or before or two, because it's like way past. It's closer to the library than it is to like the middle of campus.
Alright, I've never been to your library as well.
Yeah, it's fine. But I just like at 7 or 8 a.m. I saw the fucking rock and it said the end is nigh, and I'm like, I love it. that one actually made me smile. I was happy
Yeah.
about that.
Smile, you said?
But it happened.
I know that
I mean-
all my friends freaked out when my spring break was extended an extra week. And I got multiple, like, it's the end of days, like the world is falling apart, and then I responded with some of them like, oh, now I can finally finish Vinland Saga.
Before I check out forever
Yeah.
with my 0.5%.
I know the finale of Vinland Saga is the highest rated anime episode on IMDb.
For
Or at least it
now.
was- or at
Like
least it was when it came
every
out.
fucking popular anime episode gets #1 on the fucking rating sites.
Of course.
Kimetsu no Yaiba did that. Fucking
Oh,
One
did it?
Punch Man would do that.
Well then. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Kimetsu no Yaiba, more like Kimetsu no Daiba.
You can't say that.
We're
We're not
all
in the
gonna
final
die.
arc yet.
We're all gonna
Or,
die.
like, yeah.
Hey!
Anyway.
Speaking of Wii...
Wii U. Wait.
Me?
The we, the you, the I, the us, were the Nonplussed
yeah.
podcast.
No, it's Nonplussed Nightly.
Not fucking Nonplussed podcast.
The only podcast that is a nightly.
Welcome to our bi-weekly podcast every 24 hours.
Welcome to Nonplussed Nightly, the podcast. I'm Ben.
Cedric,
And I'm
it's
joined
Well.
by... Okay. Okay. We have Andrew.
hello, I'm Andrew.
It's Andrew.
And I am Cedric. The
Hello.
best of the three. So...
Where?
Fuck you, man. Okay. Speaking of coronavirus...
Speaking of speech,
looking at
patterns,
just all the shit, we had to compile the goddamn all the COVID-19 shit into one topic because that would have just taken up the entire podcast.
Right.
I mean, not really. There's not much to say.
I didn't even put in like the fucking anime projects that are delayed.
yeah, don't delete that from the... Yeah,
like,
just leave it.
It's like, who cares?
I want the dab thing in the doc.
Can we leave...
You
Yeah.
want dab?
Yeah.
You want dab?
Please fucking leave it.
Okay.
I'll make that the
E3s.
description of the fucking video.
Tap 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 tap.
So-
I've been on a
so
weird
many
dab
events.
kick for a while now.
So
I don't
many
even-
events have been canceled.
Here's the thing. I don't even dab. Like, I don't do the actual
No.
motion. I just say dab.
Yeah.
And people just look at me and they're very disappointed.
It's like Life is Strange speech. I can understand why they would be.
Yeah,
No.
I just.
I told you
like,
too,
alright,
why-
I'm
Voice
going-
emoji.
Instead
Last
of
night,
I'm gonna
fucking,
dip, I
like-
say okay, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna dab out.
I'm gonna dip.
I fucking
It's
told
just-
you
this
too
is
that
fun.
Life is Strange has ruined my vocabulary because now I unironically say like hella,
And D's nuts.
D's nut. That doesn't even come from Life is Strange. That's just fucking my.
Yeah, but you
It
still
isn't?
wanna
I think my
Life is
mental
Strange.
my mental state might just be fucking catastrophizing.
I mean, the world feels like it's falling apart right now. I can understand why you would.
When does it not?
I was saying D's nuts way before goddamn coronavirus broke out. That's been happening for months now, and I don't know how to stop it.
I mean, it. Well,
Especially
it
since it's like
didn't,
5 years past
matter.
its like due date.
Sick.
Due date? What?
No,
D's
dab
nuts is
dab
like
should
an
have
expired
no, not
name.
dab.
Oh,
D's
that.
nuts. Yeah, that's it's walking its way very patiently towards post irony. It's not sure if it's gonna get there, but
I know Pickle Rick is in post irony right now.
with Bayonetta doing the fucking voice.
I don't know why Pickle Rick came back. Can someone explain that to me?
Because we're just
No.
fucking zoomers now. Fucking who cares?
Memes-
Nothing
memes
matters.
Don't make sense.
Nothing fucking matters.
Yeah. You said that,
Memes?
Ben, you said something interesting to me recently. That you said that you predict memes will go away in like 2 years or something.
I think so, because the half-life is getting so short that it's just like, it's going to just go back into normal jokes.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget, memes come from enthymemes, which are shorthand jokes.
I think that my last favorite meme that I kept up with was WaterGuy12.
That's a Reddit meme.
Yeah, I know. I think that's why it was the last one.
You're like, we've reached the apex of what this site can achieve. Also, fuck this site.
Well, then they invented like FireGuy12. So if
yeah,
you don't-
there was
let
the
me
guy
explain this real
wars.
quick.
Yeah.
There was a guy who's like, "Hey, me IRL, keep me up to date while I like move house or whatever. I'll be offline for like 15
It wasn't move
days
house.
or something."
It wasn't move house. It was like some event where he couldn't bring his phone.
Right. He
It
just
might have
wasn't
been a
gonna be
retreat.
online.
I don't know.
Keep
Yeah,
me
he
up
wasn't
to
going to
date
be
with all the
online
memes.
for 30
They
days.
just tagged him in literally
Yeah.
everything across the site. Like me IRL invented like FireGuy12, who's like a being made totally of fire, and WaterGuy12 is represented by a water delivery man.
Have you seen the video of O.J. Simpson disinfecting dollar bills in his backyard?
What?
That's
that
literally
ruin
the
the-
first thing in my recommended. Like,
Is it really?
Yeah.
Huh.
take a look at
I
this.
just thought it was interesting.
That's actually
Let's get
very
a- let's get a
interesting. Because I've thought
visual aid for
about,
this audio podcast.
Well, how do you disinfect paper?
Burn it.
You don't. I was gonna. You burn
Burn
it
it.
or like dip it in like a tub of Germ-X. I don't know.
Burn it.
You laminate it like in Dexter's Lab where he laminated himself.
Yeah. God.
I hear, sirs,
Anyways,
you now allow
shit's-
self-lamination at this establishment.
You
Shit's
can't get
getting
back to school unless you
canceled.
laminate yourself.
Shit's getting cancelled.
Yes. Let's
and
talk
that
about
includes E3, which I think is fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it feels like what's probably going to happen instead of E3 is just a bunch of
E4.
companies are going to release trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think that'll just
I,
become the standard now?
Some Call Me
No.
Johnny made a Twitter post saying if there was ever a chance for this event to try out the Nintendo Direct style of presentation, and this is the year.
Yeah.
So, that's fair.
I think Nintendo's been
Yeah.
ahead of the curve for years. But I do
Uh,
kind of miss the stage stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just
2012
it's efficient.
really fucking
doesn't
killed it
drag
for me.
on.
Yeah.
I think the one that killed it. Well, I haven't been a fan of E3 for years. I haven't watched it in forever. But I think I would if everything was concise and it didn't last like 3 hours.
Oh no, it lasts like 6 hours
Really?
over the course of a bunch of days. So make sure you set your alarms.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
There's
I
something
get it.
about,
There's
like-
something about like
Yeah.
the one place where gamers can be themselves.
I mean, I follow animation Twitter. Like, I'm familiar with this kind of like stage show culture, where they'll get up on stage and be like, "We have a new announcement, a new film
Yeah.
in the Disney series, Disney Princess series." But
They don't. Do they do that?
I mean, John
But-
Lasseter used to.
Because, like, it was still fun last summer, even if, like, not much happened.
You guys sounded like you
Yeah.
had great fun. I'm just not the biggest fan of the stage show thing.
Hey, Andrew,
Yeah.
what was it that you forced Cedric to do with you this year and me to do with you last year?
Moving on.
Go get fucked!
Speaking of fucking weebs, the
Yeah, speaking of,
Anime Japan was
cringe,
canceled.
And
Anime Japan was
GDC is
canceled,
everything,
which was
well,
like
the-
yeah,
everything
Anime
is
Japan is
canceled.
basically like E3 for
Yeah,
fucking
it's
anime.
basically
So
free.
For weebs.
I'll just say I'm a hypocrite because I don't know.
Yes, you are.
they can't
Let me
call
just
me
put
out
it
if I
straight up.
admit it.
I mean, I at least I am admitting it.
At least I'm a hypocrite, but I'm not fucking.
At least I'm not a liar.
But I'm not fucking blind about it. I killed the guy, but
I'm telling you I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least I'm being honest. God, what are you fucking stupid?
At least I said it straight up.
Yeah.
Hey,
Anyway.
Cedric, keep that one in.
No.
Please keep it in.
Keep it in.
Well, now I'm not
Double
going
it.
to do it.
I like dick.
Please,
It's
like,
okay!
Dude, I'm
enhance
about to
it.
put a fucking reverb on that.
Yeah, please. I said enhance it.
Oh, God, I hope you do. I hope you remember to do that.
Oh, I
Please,
will.
please.
I timestamp it for you, but I'm not paying attention.
No.
Fuck you. Okay. Okay. 19 minutes. I'm good. 19.
Alright. Anyway, so Anime Japan was also cancelled.
Okay.
Oh, I feel fucking insane right now. Speaking of insanity,
Anime
No,
Japan was also cancelled.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
but part of me feels
fine.
like, especially because of, I don't know, apparently, like, the World Health Organizations are reporting that it's, like, been easy to cure. It's like,
Have they cured it?
well, no, okay, I guess cure isn't right. I don't know, they said something about, like, there've been a bunch of recovered patients or something.
Really?
Part of me feels like this is a knee-jerk reaction, but then also it is like, it's been 3 months since it started, and it's
Yeah.
been sticking
Yeah.
around for a while, so...
It's 10 times more
Eh.
contagious than the yearly flu.
yeah.
so, take with that what you will.
I
Whatever.
take from it that it's 10 times more contagious.
I mean,
Okay.
hey, if you miss
Fuck
if
it.
you miss E3s, just go back and watch the old streams and try to remember when you would get excited for fuck.
Anyway, moving on.
Get excited for corporate products and bad shilling.
GDC.
No.
Or fuck, let's just do an entirely online E3. Just do it like a big Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
I
That's
might
what I
actually
said.
watch it then.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy thinking about how I'm like far superior to everyone who has the coronavirus because I jack off. This is like apparently a thing.
You said something
Like
about
Wolf
white blood cell count.
Blitzer was fucking doing a news
What, did
report on
he
it where
say I
it's
jerk off?
the
Wow.
underline is just sex kills the coronavirus.
I thought it was just gonna be sex kills, and I was like, what?
No, but it's like it because
Christians
it
be
raises
like,
your
I
white
had
blood
sex
cell
kills.
count. And so if you think about it, I'm like a white blood cell god over here.
They're practically
It's
bursting
great.
out of your skin.
It's fucking incredible. I cure diseases with my blood.
I thought you were gonna say dick, but
I-
regardless.
You fight them
Yeah,
with your dick.
Yeah, I've got the
You
deep
kill
Jesus
them
dick.
with your blood.
Ladies, gentlemen,
And
Why
if
not?
you're
no.
searching for the cure to the coronavirus, allow me to direct you to my penis.
To these nuts, ha!
To tease nuts.
got him.
In other news,
Another news, good things are happening because
GDC?
Platinum wills it so.
we already fucking talked about
Oh, we already
this.
talked about GDC.
Yes.
We
There's
talked
two
about it
Gs in
all.
the-
It's all getting canceled because of
Yes.
the coronavirus. That's the only coronavirus story. That's it.
Anyway, what's happening?
Anyway, hey, fucking...
I don't know what this is even.
What is this?
do you not know what
please
Project
tell me.
GG is?
I know
I don't.
fucking
I
Kanye
sent
was
you the
like, I
tra-
want to make more shit.
Well,
but-
no, I sent you the trailer for it.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Yeah,
That's
the new-
right.
the new-
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an Ultraman game.
Yes.
I
It's
know,
just
Andrew's probably
Ultraman.
happy about that.
Yeah. I'm very happy about it.
Like, cause, and people have pointed out, cause basically, Kamiya was like, I want to make a fucking superhero trilogy. So he did Beautiful Joe, which is the
Beautiful.
Kamen Rider styled show. He
Yes.
did
That's probably why I like that game so much.
Wonderful 101, which is also has a release date May 19th.
Yes, was
Get
Wonderful
it?
101 supposed to be like the Super Sentai sort of?
Yeah, it was supposed to be
Yeah.
like yeah, and then this is gonna be Ultraman. Look, I know it's a CG only trailer. I know I bitch about those a lot.
Right.
I don't fucking care, man. Platinum
If it's a company I like,
they've
then
been hitting nothing but like grand slams lately. So
What was their? Oh, their
they've
latest.
only
was
been
Astral
going
Chain,
to
right?
Denny's lately.
their late what?
What was their latest? Astral Chain.
No, their latest was getting bought out by Tencent. Haha.
Oh
Hey.
yeah.
They didn't get bought up. They didn't get bought up by Tencent.
No,
It's not
they
a
did not
controlling
get bought
interest.
up.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Shut up.
Yes. They'll be fine.
Look, we'll know how bad it is when Bayonetta 3 comes out and Rodon is either in or out.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
I
So-
think we'll be fine.
So, yeah, they want to make more shit. Ain't that sick?
Yeah. Well, Kamiya was talking about how it's like
He was at a panel, right? Like,
yeah, he was at a panel and he was literally like, dude, fucking like because people were just like, hey, are there any like canceled games or unfinished series that you'd like to go back to? And he literally just is like, he just rattles off everything. He's like,
literally everything I've
fucking
ever
yeah,
made,
man,
yeah.
Beautiful Joe 3, Scalebound, I'll do anything. Just like email the people that like hold the licenses.
Ben, that old
Alchemy is
podcast
coming
episode I titled, "It Could Be Real." Fucking Scalebound 2. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
God, I wish.
Because Alchemy is coming
for all intents and purposes, that game looked really fucking like polished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there is still that like 10 to 15 minute gameplay demo that's just hanging around.
In the fucking
It's like-
void, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so what happened here?
Longing for a
Like-
purpose. How far in
Yeah.
development
Yeah.
did you get? Like,
Because the crazy thing is, like, Wonderful 101 is coming out on new platforms in, like, it's like been like, I think it's gonna be like a 3 to 4 month turnaround since they put up the Kickstarter. And so it's like, they had this ready. It was like, the only reason why they were asking for like 50K was probably just for distribution. Like, it probably wasn't that hard to develop the ports for them.
Yeah, that's fair, honestly.
Because it's like, it was probably just a side project they were working on, or they just got funding from Tencent to do it. And it's like, well, they made $2 million off of this. And so they're like, alright, we're gonna add shit, but the release date is still May 19th, so you're like, well, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, that's a bit.
The fuck is this? So... And then they have, like, other shit in development. They've still got Babylon's Fall, which looks...
Right.
It's looking
It looks
nice.
good. I don't know. I'm cautious on it, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the art design, to be honest. It looks kind of like...
It looks like Bloodborne, but they didn't go far enough.
Really? That's the vibe you're getting
Really?
from it?
I don't agree
It's
with
like-
that at all, actually.
Are you sure about that? Are you fucking sure about that?
Fuck,
Maybe
I'll
just
look
look
again.
up some Babylon's Fall gameplay, and maybe I'll get back to you on that one. What is
What's
this?
this?
DoorDash, don't you fucking advertise
I'm not talking about,
me.
like, gameplay.
I'm talking about gameplay.
I wasn't.
What were you talking about?
Like, hold on. This fucking Pokemon ad is playing. Hold on.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the
Looking at a
gameplay, because it's
gameplay
like...
trailer.
Okay.
It looks... Actually... You know, I'm getting kind of like a Dark Souls 3 vibe from it. Maybe it's just the lighting and the,
I was
like...
thinking about, like, the general look of it. Like, it's
'Cause-
Bloodborne, but they ran a bunch of mops through it.
I'm gonna say it's more Dark Souls 3, because Dark Souls 3 has like this really ember gold hue.
That's fair. I'm a
and
fucking,
around
I'm a FromSoft baby, so I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, you're a little bitch. You need to get your shit.
Oh no, Ben, good news. Since we've played Bloodborne, I've had a need to go back and play the rest of them.
Oh, good.
I've had a fucking itch for months.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
like, that game series is cocaine. I knew someone who, like, I introduced to it, and he's played through the game, I think, like, 15 times.
Holy shit.
Dark Souls 1 specifically.
God
Something,
damn.
like some crazy amount of, he's done just like a crazy amount of playthroughs, and it's like, yeah, no, this is that kind of game. That's like, it's also
Don't you
kind of the
love
reason
that?
why Sekiro was really good for one playthrough, but the problem was because there was no build diversity, there was really no reason to replay it.
You play as Wolf.
Yeah, it's like, and it's like your entire combat was focused around the sword, and you, like, there were things you could do with the arm-based weapons, but once you figured out, it's like, okay, axe breaks shield. That's your solution. There's no, like, there's nothing better. There's no, like, other trick you can do. Because if you come across a shield enemy in Dark Souls, you have the options to parry, to block, to skirt around them, to dodge and counterattack. It's like, those like are probably the 4 options that come to my mind immediately. Not to mention like ranged builds or whatever, but it's like, by comparison, Sekiro is just kind of like, hit him with a big fucking axe and then
Stagger them or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, staggering was the deal, and again, it's still a badass game.
It's solid, allegedly. It's just, I guess,
yeah.
there's not much to it.
When you learn how, when you've beaten the game, it's as good as you're gonna get at it. Like, there's nothing beyond the final boss.
Unless you want to get like 100% and like...
Yeah, it's like if you want to get 100% stuff, but the problem is that then it's not fun. And there are also a couple boss fights that are really, really low points for the game, so...
Of
Because
just
they
being
require
like bad
you to
boss
use...
fights or what?
They're very bad. They require
Okay.
you to use a consumable item, and it's a consumable item that up until basically the end game just does not show up in any shops. And so
Great.
when you get, and it's like, I think when up until I got to that point, I found 8 of them. So
I'm sure that feels great.
you've got 8 attempts at those bosses, and when it's used, it's gone. Like,
All right.
you're not getting it back.
So in other news,
But well, anyways, yeah, Platinum and Project GG.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I wanna know how Platinum is able to take on this many projects. I can't imagine we're gonna actually see anything
how
from
big
Project
is
GG for a
Platinum
while.
again?
I don't know.
I
don't
really
know how
have
big
no idea.
Platinum is. Every time
Like-
I think about it, because how many games have they
I
released?
don't know. In my mind, for some reason, my mind only pictures them as like 40 or 50 people in like a room somewhere.
Yeah, I know,
I
right?
still think back to the Bayonetta 2 trailer, where you get to see like 2 rooms of their like of them like making the animations for one of the bosses.
Okay, Platinum Games on according to Wikipedia, they have 224 employees.
Huh.
That's still not as many as I thought. honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, they really did crank out games for like they've still been cranking out games for like a while.
Yeah.
They
They're just
did-
efficient.
It's
I
like
guess.
they did since 2019 to 2020, they have put out a total of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
How many games?
16.
He's counting.
Oh, okay.
Yes, 16 games.
Fuck.
So that's almost 1 game per year. And I'm also, like, counting out a couple of the Android games that they did. So
Gotcha.
it's like, they have literally been going non-stop.
God damn.
So
I
it's,
hope their work conditions are good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they could release a game for the PlayStation. Hey, speaking of the PlayStation, did you guys
You're-
know it's my
what is-
birthday
oh,
today?
you're so goddamn smooth, Cedric.
Yeah.
What is this?
Smooth.
Tell me what this
Okay,
is.
you didn't see this, did you?
No,
Smooth. Yes, you did.
I didn't.
I
Yes,
swear
you
to God,
did!
we
This
showed
is
this to
the
you
third
last
time
night.
We've talked about it since last night.
Did we?
Oh my! Are you drunk?
Oh!
Tell me again, because I clearly forgot about
All
it.
right.
The
Horizon
okay,
Zero Dawn was
Horizon
released
Zero
for
Dawn
PlayStation
for like
4
a
in
while.
That's right, never
2017.
mind. I remember.
Holy
Okay.
shit!
I remember now.
Okay, Horizon Zero Dawn for
I'm sorry. I didn't
the
realize
past-
that. I thought people were just mad over it. I didn't
fucking
realize
whatever.
that-
No, there
Horizon
was-
Zero Dawn
okay.
for the past couple like months was rumored coming to PC, and it introduced me to a really interesting subsection of the internet, which is the PS4 piss babies.
I mean, they've always been
These-
there.
The
like,
PS4 keys.
They've always been there. I've just never seen them.
PS4s.
These guys are crazy.
I mean, they've been getting paradised for years. Like, remember the guy, like, fake destroying the PlayStation 4
Yeah.
in the line? Yeah.
I remember that.
I don't know. I don't remember that actually.
It was around when the PS4 came out, and the guy like destroyed it as
He's in,
soon
like,
as he bought it.
yeah,
or
he's first
something.
in line, he purchases it, and then he goes to the line, he destroys it.
That's a PS4 piss baby?
Yeah.
That's not what I'm thinking of. No, I see. No, PS4 piss babies treat their PS4s with fucking respect. They adore their
Maybe
PS4s.
the definition hadn't solidified
they,
in 2012.
They love their PS4s.
They're
No, that guy
fucking
was just a weird
their
asshole.
exclusives
I'm talking
are
about
gonna,
like,
cheat on them with the
yeah,
the
that's what I'm
PC.
saying. Like the
Yeah.
It's like when Death Stranding announced that it was coming to PC, they were there. They were going like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's like they
sounded
were
like
literally
the creatures
they were
from
doing
the Neverending
this
Story.
shit. They like I remember seeing posts that were like, "Oh, Kojima has betrayed PlayStation."
It is,
You're
you're
like,
right. He started
what
making
the
games for
fuck?
PC and NES. Like, what the fuck?
But it's like, or like, I don't think that's a quantifier. I think it's just like, what do you mean betrayed?
Yeah.
He sold his soul to our cause.
Yeah, and it's like,
It's
and
just
then
a game console for the love
it's
of
also
God.
like,
Yeah.
if you go and find their profiles on Twitter, it's fucking hilarious because they'll like, it's always like, man, I'm so hyped for Ghost of Tsushima, and it's every single one of them is just insanely excited for it, and they'll be like, oh yeah, Last of Us was the greatest game ever, and it's just like,
Is it
Can you
like?
send me some? I'd
is
love
it-
to see this.
it's like a hive mind.
Is there
It's
gameplay even out
bizarre.
for Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah, there's a little.
Okay.
It looks fine. Looks interesting.
I'm trying to find someone.
They definitely like they worship like
They're
the
exclusives, I guess.
specifically Naughty Dog games, which I don't think deserve worship. Those games kind of blow, to be honest.
I've never really dabbled. I played a bit of Crash 1.
Yeah, well, you guys had like an Xbox.
Yeah, we played a bit of Crash 1 once.
Yeah, we got to PlayStation really late.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
like,
2016, right? 2015, actually.
Yeah.
Holy
it's
shit.
like I've played Uncharted and I've played Last of Us, and while Last of Us is narratively like really cool and interesting, this gameplay fucking sucks. Like
the most fun you can have with Last of Us is getting shot by the guard by running into him a bunch.
Sure,
Aren't they making a Last of Us movie, by the way? Or am I
TV series.
TV series.
Oh, it's TV.
Honestly, it's kind of making me think. Well, I don't know, because like I don't think Last of Us is a game that needed to be a game to tell a good story. Like,
yeah, they could have literally made it like a one-season TV show.
It's
sure.
There's stuff where it's like interact with Ellie and like you build up sort of a relationship between her, like you're building a relationship between the player and this NPC, and it's like it's cool what they're attempting to do, but a lot of the time the game just feels kind of like it's forcing you to like her.
What like, do they do? Like,
hey, Ellie can't swim,
so
you gotta like push her around on this wooden plank in the water.
Ben, do they like swell the music during like sections like that?
Kind of, but it's more it's more just like hey, Ellie can't swim. Was put her on the plank, and then the end of the game. The problem is like. It's like getting to the end of the game of Last of Us, and you're basically spoilers for The Last of Us.
I don't care.
Are you the
Last of Us?
All of them.
So spoilers for The Last of Us is basically like the main character, Ellie, whatever, is like a she's like there's the whole zombie mushroom virus, and like Ellie cannot be infected by it or whatever, and the whole goal is like there's like this resistance movement. There's this resistance movement and you want to take her to them so that they can figure out her secrets and get the cure, or whatever. Like, why does she fucking not have get infected by the mushrooms or whatever?
Okay.
But then at the end of the game, they reveal that in order to do that, they have to kill her. And because you become a father figure to her, you basically just like kill everyone in the base and leave.
Sick.
And it's like, the problem is I fundamentally disagree with the ending.
Fucking let her go.
It's literally just like it's like that's adorable, man, but fucking you gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What's his name?
But...
I don't know. He's killed billions or something.
And the thing is, it's like really you have to kill her.
It's it's the trolley problem.
Like...
That's the first thing that like always like appears in my head of like when a story that is like very like narratively dissonant or whatever or has like a very like a bunch of really heavy themes. The problem is that my immediate questions are just like, you need to very clearly explain why.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they do or not, but I kind of remember that they don't. They're kind of just like, we need to fucking kill her.
It's save the innocent girl or save the world.
Destroy her.
Hang on. Why did the Fireflies
we'll discuss this later.
Ellie?
The point is,
the point
Horizon
being,
Zero Dawn's coming to
on
PC.
Horizon?
It looks fucking pretty good. Anyway, what's this new Star Wars?
No, why did people destroy their property?
Because they're idiots. I don't know. It's funny.
Did they destroy their copies of Horizon?
No, they fucking trashed their apartments.
Can you send me
it's funny.
Of that?
I swear to God, I have it bookmarked and I've already sent it to you.
Let's just send it again. Yeah. I want to see that. I need that shit in my.
It's not a video of them destroying it. It's fucking. It's them recording a video of their destroyed apartment and their destroyed PlayStation 4.
Mm-hmm.
All I remember is like every time there's something like this at all, like game drama, where they're like the company
sent it to you on Twitter.
I always used to enjoy watching like videos of like people, and they're like teenagers, obviously, but they're like wearing a mask in front of a microphone, like wearing an anime mask or something, and they're like, "Fuck you, Microsoft," for like 10 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
It's just like
2012.
it's yeah.
What the fuck was
They're very piss babies.
Yeah,
I remember
it was
when
my
I remember
favorite
the Wii
shit.
U being revealed, and someone was using just a text-to-speech program to
Oh,
type
yeah.
out their rant. They're like, "You're ripping off the iPhone. Don't forget to subscribe."
Yeah.
It was stupid.
You're ripping off
Do you remember
the
the exact
iPhone.
one? Because I showed it to you.
I remember it was like, "I think I'll stick with the classics," or whatever.
It was stupid. Who cares? And
Great way
with
to
all
spend
this,
my birthday.
Right.
coming full
So-
circle with this discussion with how stupid it is. With they're like, no, my exclusives. Fucking people who bought the Wii U being like, fucking get used to it, nerd.
What
Like-
the hell is he doing? Great
It's
way
like-
to spend my
Bitch.
birthday. Thanks for fucking nothing.
And then he lists every
he's
companies.
like, and you can hear him like sniffling like a piece, like a little piss baby, and it's like,
I
yeah,
should be
this-
Top
laughing at
comment!
it's like, well, also one of the, it's like got to a point where like one of the top like the developers of Horizon Zero Dawn is like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like, yeah, that's pretty embarrassing, man.
God, can we talk about like property emulating people? Whatever, like.
Well,
whenever
some
there's
people
an
have been able to
announcement,
monetize it with drop
Not much
tests
to
and shit.
say.
Like whenever it's like
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Ichigo didn't get together with Ruki at the end of Bleach, and
Oh, they'll
people are,
fucking
like,
shred their volumes.
They like rip up all of their volumes and line them up perfectly on their bed or something.
Oh my god, there's a fucking perfect thing with that. So we all know the idol scene is the fucking toxicest thing.
Yes.
Apparently there was this controversy that one of the Love Live voice actresses, someone mistook her for like some woman who showed up in some porn. And then when people found out that that was a thing, but they didn't catch on that it was a mistake, like, oh no, it's not
Yeah.
her, it's obviously a different woman. There are oodles of pictures of people like having destroyed a big pile of their goddamn merch. Like they went fucking
and it makes
insane over
that's like
that.
delusional.
Yeah, it's this weird parasocial
Wait,
thing that people have with celebrities.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Are you looking
Are
it
you-
up?
are you looking
It
for the
goes
burning
deeper. It goes deeper. The fucking account.
Wait,
Oh my
what?
god.
With
The
one-
account. The account of this guy. Oh my god. He's buying a PC, and now he's saying he was joking the entire time.
Wait,
Oh
What?
no.
Yeah, he's bullshitting his way out of this.
what is this? Oh,
Spend my money.
good PC. Oh, should we?
Yeah,
be
so he's like,
talking
good
about-
PC builds. This dude's literally just like, yeah, I trolled you.
Bro, guys, I'm laughing at all of this. Stop. Whenever you have
Oh
to say
man,
that,
I
am
trolled
laughing.
you. I trolled
Yeah.
you so hard.
Got you, nerds.
Whenever you have to say I'm laughing at this so much, that's when it's evident that you're you're checking Twitter every like 5 minutes. I'm like,
It's probably because he got like a fucking actual like newspaper article about him.
Oh
what?
god.
Was he in
what?
the newspaper?
Well, not newspaper,
Not,
but
but,
like
yeah.
a fucking game journo article or something.
All right.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
I
no.
found it.
Oh, the video is. He's saying that the video was of someone else now.
Was it? What?
Just stop. Get out of the rabbit hole.
Then why was it on? Never mind.
Next. Fucking.
I don't want to waste my time with this.
Even
dude.
so, that doesn't change the fact that there are real piss babies who are like piss babies about it.
Star
Yes.
Wars.
Like, if you destroy your property, you're not gonna get the money back.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Like
It's-
just you can just
People have done dumber things for dumber reasons, so
Yeah.
whatever.
I can't believe Naruto didn't get together with Sakura. I'll show them by
Yeah, there was
destroying
that.
60 volumes of paper.
No, there were like. It was apparently like a Facebook group. We're gonna all hold a vigil or whatever, and then we're all gonna burn our volumes at midnight.
What?
Yeah.
That's like the end of Death Note. What the hell? Were they all like?
They're not gonna kill themselves. What the fuck are you talking about?
that's the image I had in my head.
They're not going to go to the cliffs of Japan and burn a fucking pyre of books.
Go to the cliffs of Japan.
You know, the one cliff,
You know,
the one
the
cliff they
Japan
have over there.
cliffs.
All of them.
They have one
Yeah.
cliff in Japan.
One cliff for each volume.
Oh, what, 72?
They summon Sakura to the real world.
That reminds me of that Ned's Declassified episode where they
Where
flush all
they
the toilets
fucking
at the
start
same
book
time.
burning? Oh.
No, they flush all the toilets at the same time.
And what, a fucking portal to hell opens?
No. Yeah.
Where are you
they all
going with
die.
this?
They all go to hell. Anyway, Star Wars. What's happening with Star Wars?
Ben, you wrote this in the doc. What is this?
The High Republic.
What about
I
it?
don't know what this is.
What is the High Republic?
So Star Wars announced a new initiative for the next couple of Star Wars films that they're going to be exploring, quote-unquote, the High Republic.
What the fuck is the
What
High
is-
Republic?
I don't know what that means.
So apparently the High Republic is going to take place in a time before even the Old Republic.
Stop.
That's where KOTOR is set. So...
Knights of the High Republic.
They always say, like,
Basically.
a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but,
An even longer time ago in a galaxy
the
even farther
longest
away.
time ago possible.
it's space. We
It's
can
gonna
fuck
be
with
it's
whatever
gonna be
time
a
we
bunch
want.
of cavemen with light sticks going unga bunga and lifting like rocks.
A caveman invents the first lightsaber and fucking slashes his face into.
It's like yeah, we're gonna have like bounty hunters and all that cool Star Wars stuff, but no one's
I want
asking if
cavemen.
it's
I
gonna
want a
be a good
caveman to-
movie.
I want a caveman to turn on the lightsaber the wrong way and put a hole in his face.
So it's like the thing is, none of this really matters because all they are doing is just like announcing like a setting.
Yeah.
But even so, it's kind of like I feel like I think at like some point they were just like, yeah, the Jedi have like thousands and thousands of years of history, so it's just kind of like
Built
It's a
1,000
religious
generations
order.
ago.
but the thing that I'm kind of interested in is so we're not going back to the old characters, we're doing something new.
I hope so.
Do
know
whatever
that
you
it-
want. Just get me away from the fucking Skywalkers already.
You know, at the end of the movie, it's going to be
It's
like
Palpatine.
my name is going to be Skywalker.
I'm-
Skywalker
Yeah.
was actually the name of like
Yeah.
a diner thousands and thousands of years ago.
No,
or
they're gonna
something.
do something. They're gonna
Yeah.
reference it in some way. I swear to God, it'll be like
They'll go, like,
they're gonna
the
be two
Solo.
kids at a fucking Jedi Academy, right? They're gonna be partners in fucking school. They're gonna sit next to each other, and they're gonna be like, Johnny Palpatine and Chris Skywalker.
Chris Solo.
Get along, you idiots. Just think, you don't want to
Yeah.
raise your children to act like this, do you?
It's
And they're
gonna be
wink at the
exactly
camera.
like that.
Yeah. So, whatever. Just get me away from the
I'd
Skywalkers. I don't want to
actually-
look
I'd
at
actually
them.
watch that. I'm not gonna lie. Johnny
Hey.
Palpatine.
Johnny.
Johnny
Yeah,
Palpatine.
Come on.
Why not? You know what? Just do whatever you want. I don't care. Fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Spawn?
Okay, what's going on? What's going on with
Hey.
Spawn?
MK11 got
Yes.
Spawn. Not much to say there. He just looks kind of cool.
There he is. I
Epic.
just-
Look at him. There he goes.
Yes.
Whiz. Look
Across
at
the
his cape.
screen.
I'm not doing that.
I know.
I'm still. You
don't have a
fucking
screen.
audio podcast.
Okay, everybody, close your eyes right now. Imagine Spawn
Imagine.
walking from the left of the screen to the right.
Imagine an apple. Can you not imagine an apple in your head? You must be fucking stupid.
Imagine the apple getting shot off your head, like.
I'm going to. What the fuck? What are you talking about?
What was
There
the
was
name
some
of the guy
there was
who,
some
like,
Twitter
the
meme.
bow and
You're
arrow?
thinking of William Tell. There was some Twitter meme
Was
where
that
it's
William
like,
Tell?
yeah, there was a thing online where it's like, if you're an artist, you should be able to picture an apple in your head. And there was a chart, and
What?
it's like, okay, I thought you were
Was
plugged
this
into
the
cartoon
apple?
Twitter. Fuck it. Next,
Apparently not.
Dead or Alive 6. I know how these conversations go. We're not gonna make any progress.
Just tell me about the apple. I want to know.
I don't fucking care about the apple.
No, I want to visualize.
Tell me about the apple.
You'll learn one day.
You visualize an apple. In
Little
your head.
Timmy.
Tell me about the rabbits.
You're reminding me of like people on my campus who like force themselves to buy notebooks and draw like screws on the ground or some shit.
What?
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 So there's some art.
Your art
students who are
school's a
so
fucking
hard-
madhouse.
They're so hardcore. They're like, you got to buy a small book and draw on it all the time, and they'll draw like the most pointless shit, like a radiator. They're like,
I mean,
I don't
that's
know.
them, dude. I don't know.
I don't know. That's fine.
I guess
Maybe they
it's
have
fine. I
a
just find it,
radiator-centric
like-
story they really want to draw.
I just find it like a huge waste of time to draw like 3 holes on a wall or something.
You could be drawing anime
know.
titties instead.
It's not what I'm implying.
I know.
Yes, no,
I'm just
you
trying
know
to
what,
take
Andrew,
the
that
piss
is
out
what
of
you're
you.
implying. Shut the fuck up.
Anyway.
That is what you're implying. Get boned.
I know that people draw dirt and shit. I don't know.
How are you gonna draw dirt in your fucking manga?
I like drawing
Screen
dirt,
tone them.
actually. I find it very helpful.
CSP screen tones. Anyway, Dead or Alive
Whatever.
6.
Yeah. What are the microtransactions?
They're making you buy hair.
Wait, really?
Is it not like
Yeah.
a color palette swap, or is it like a wig?
It's like,
style
yeah,
change?
it's just it's color palette swaps, but they're making you buy them, and it's like I think someone with like I don't know if it's DOA 5 or if it was DOA 6. I don't even know how long DOA 6 has been out, but it's like the main thing that's interesting is that it charges you to change the character's hair color, but then it charges you again if you want to change it again.
Ew.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's
Okay, so
stupid.
imagine sitting at like the Grand Theft Auto haircut thing. You get a hairstyle change, then you have to pay $300. But you can always take it back because that's how video games work.
Yeah. I mean,
so imagine
are
if
they
it doesn't
trying to make
work.
it true to life, where it's like if you have to pay money to get hair color? And
Yeah,
change
as
your
you
hair
all know,
color?
Dead or Alive was always known for its realism.
Yes. What if they made a realistic Dead or Alive?
What if they made a realistic Mario and he got high off the mushrooms?
Okay, next.
Hey.
Speaking
So,
of, oh wait, it's not for a
s-
while.
No, we're not. Yeah,
What's Miyazaki doing on Netflix? Get him off of there.
he's on top of the building, crawling all over it.
Miyazaki,
get him
come
outta
down
there.
from there. Don't make me come up there.
Gross. Yeah.
So his movies are getting on Netflix outside. I bashed the table. It's probably gonna show up. His movies are getting on Netflix outside the U.S. and use VPN, whatever. But the point is that two things. One, he was convinced to finally do it because
Because for the longest time he didn't want to.
he was like, I don't want to. Some weird pride, but literally he was convinced by people like
it was more of
Ghibli,
an
like,
artistic integrity thing, and
He
I
was
think
like,
it's also because he's from the
fucking
20th
let me
century.
finish a sentence. He was like, you need the money, Miyazaki. And he was like, okay. But I wanted to open the discussion because he said, he says a good movie or like a good piece of art shouldn't be rewatched too many times. Because if you watch like Princess Mononoke 50 times, you could have done something much more useful the other 49. And I thought we
Yeah,
could get
Andrew.
to a good fucking talk about rewatch culture. You know?
Yeah, Andrew.
So I have an interesting history with rewatch culture.
I thought, Ben, you're the film major guy. I was thinking, like, what's your opinion on, like, film rewatching?
I have almost never rewatched a film more than like once. Because and like anytime I go into a film, I usually just purposefully spoil myself on the story so that I don't have to rewatch it. And the only times that if I ever do rewatch it, it's either A, to show it to someone else, which enhances the experience for me, or B, it's to like relive the moments of the film that I enjoyed.
Okay.
But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with like the whole accumulist idea of if you spend your time doing X over and over again, you'll regret it, because it's just like the question was always like from the parents was always like, well, if you spend like every day playing video games for 2 hours a day, like that's gonna be so many hours. It's gonna be days of your life, and aren't you gonna look back on that and regret it? It's like, fuck no, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Like, but so it's like, if you rewatch a film, first off, it should be a film that, like, at least for me, my general rules are it should be a film that I enjoy.
Yes.
If I rewatch it a lot of times, that's going to be because it's a film that is either so incredibly dense that I'm going to get new stuff every time I watch it, or so much fun
Yeah.
that if I rewatch it every once in a while, it's because I literally need to, for like me emotion sad or whatever.
That's a fucking epic
Train!
train. Holy shit.
There's a train outside my window.
Yep, I remember where you guys live.
Yeah.
That would be the train.
God damn.
Sorry.
Yep.
Why the
Sorry,
fuck?
No, it's-
Did you open
it's
the window?
fine.
Like, what the fuck?
I didn't realize it
No,
was
it's so
open.
loud.
It's
Cedric,
not
don't you
so
remember-
loud that it picks up on a microphone. Where are you in the house,
Yes, it
Andrew?
is! Oh my god, yes it is! We also did change his audio settings, so it might not even come across.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Once you
Who
balance the
knows?
audio, it should be fine.
But like, the main
Whatever.
the main thing is like things that I definitely do
My
not
God, this fucking
rewatch
train is still...
are.
Sorry.
Well, fucking just ignore it.
Yeah.
The things that I super do not rewatch are shows.
I'll look for
unless-
like a show that has like a good clip, you know? I'll look for clips.
Yeah, it's like if I need to like see a part of a show again, because like I'll rewatch a show if it's with someone new to it. But it's like aside from that, I'll just look up clips of it.
Right.
Like,
Push comes to shove,
it's-
I'll rewatch like a certain episode, maybe.
yeah, because I already have the
yeah.
like the emotional context and like the build up for that moment like stored away in my memory, so it's like I don't need to go through that build up again, because it's like because it's long form storytelling. That's it's pointless. But wow,
Jesus Christ.
that's something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. It's not your train.
It's my train.
It's just the train.
Fuck
you know.
you. But for real, like, yeah, I don't know. I like the films that I've definitely rewatched the most amount of times in my life have been Mad Max Fury Road and The Big Short.
Andrew, I'll just mute you at this part. Fucking.
I've
Okay.
I've rewatched the ever loving shit out of them because they have a lot of dense, like they're very dense. They also have a lot of like interesting features. They're also just good goddamn films. But more often than not, I find that I do better with art when I'm constantly experiencing new stuff, because it's giving me new perspectives and new ideas and new ways to tell stories. And like, it's like you gotta look at everything like ever made at least a little bit. But the problem is that if you're experiencing it fresh, you're not going to be experiencing it. If you're experiencing it for the first time, you're gonna be focused on the like initial experience and like the whole like, oh, like what's gonna happen next is which is good if the film can get you to do that. But for my purposes, I hate that because it gets in the way of me actually remembering what happens in the film and like the mistakes and the positive qualities and so on. So yeah, so it's like from someone who wants to create films, I think rewatch culture is both dumb and gay. But from the experience of someone else, I don't know.
With my
if you
rewatching films in particular, the films that I rewatch the most are not really the most dense per se.
What
But-
films do you rewatch?
The ones I think I've rewatched the most, not counting the ones we would rewatch from our childhood, because fuck, we could just quote the script.
Madagascar.
Yeah, man.
You gotta watch it multiple times to
Yeah.
soak in this.
But they happen to. It's really
No.
subtle. Yeah, that box scene where they're all in boxes. That's basically like.
Morty Millman Gloria. Morty
That's
Millman
basically
Gloria,
like the
Morty-
crawl space scene in Breaking Bad. Anyway, what I'll do is if I'm rewatching something, I might not even be paying as much attention because they usually am decompressing while rewatching them. Like I've seen John Wick 1 twice, and I've seen Your Name 3 times.
Yeah.
Not the most complex movies. They're the type where it's like, it's Sunday afternoon, I'll fucking put this on, sure. Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
depending on the actual content of the not as dense films, I'll be paying attention at more crucial parts. Like the first 20 minutes of John Wick, I'm locked in on. But you know,
Yeah.
some of the action scenes, maybe I'll... even though they're like basically some of my favorite action scenes in movies, you know, I think it's acceptable if my eyes glaze over once or twice.
Yeah.
Andrew, do you have a perspective?
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That's it for you?
Yeah. Talking about movies because
I've-
Miyazaki's a movie man.
I have a very interesting history with rewatch culture. Not
Very
just for,
interesting, you say.
not just for movies, but like shows.
You should be a movie major.
I've been told that, by the way, and I don't completely agree with it.
But Andrew, you draw a cartoon movie. What? Just fucking say a thing.
I tend to rewatch shows and movies quite a lot, like more than I care to admit.
You'll stay in like an igloo of fucking.
Like I've seen Little Witch Academia 4 times. I've seen like JoJo Part 4 3 times. And I've seen a lot of shit. Like I've seen Isle of Dogs like 6 times.
Jesus.
I've seen Spider-Verse like 8 times.
Your igloo is going to be constructed out of like pages from the Spider-Verse art book and Little Witch Academia Blu-rays.
I've seen, and especially I'll tend to rewatch films that don't have the best reputation. Shows and films like I've seen Gangsta twice.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen.
I've
seen The Thief and the Cobbler like 6 times.
What?
That's
Yeah.
fucking psychopathic. Like, how?
I mean,
I've seen Mary and the Witch's
I'm not
Flower
gonna.
like 6 times as well.
I'm not gonna throw.
Like-
I'm not gonna throw stones and live in a glass house. I've read Demon's Plan 4 or 5 times.
You're
actually
insane! What
fucked
the
up.
fuck? Why are you so stupid?
Because
Why
I'm not
did you
paying as
do
much
that?
attention. Remember my full philosophy.
That's insane.
The thing about it with me is, whenever I'm rewatching something, it's usually because I've like heard a different perspective on it. Specifically, like I'll enjoy the Gangsta, for example. Like I'll watch the Gangsta adaptation, and the second time it'll be like, well, why did I like this? What have I seen in this? And it's usually because of the aspects of the production that I didn't like notice. Like, oh yeah, this episode looks like shit. And this episode doesn't look like shit. Why is this? Why do I feel like it does? Why do the animations move
With an animated show,
differently?
there's
What
a
are the
lot
animation directors?
more to
Yeah.
like take in than I would argue like a particular animated movie.
Right. Well, that depends
Because-
on the movie.
Well, if you're
Because
talking
with-
about aspects of the animation, I'm sure there's ostensibly more animated content to take in over a longer period of time, or like it's a longer period of time you'd have to be paying attention, right?
I mean, it depends because I've seen Mary and the Witch's Flower like 6 times as well,
Yeah.
and that movie's not very good at all.
No, I fucking argued with you on that one for a while.
I know.
So why do you keep spending time watching shit films?
They're not necessarily terrible films. Like you'll enjoy watching.
Some of them
it.
are.
Some of them
Yeah,
are.
they are. Yeah, some of them are.
There are things where I'll be like, well, why is this? Why do I like this? And I don't think it's because I just enjoy sound and color. I like to think I'm not that fucked up, but
Fucked. You fucking normies.
That's fair.
I think it just has to do with like me trying to understand why I like it more. And I think I need to rewatch all those films I mentioned again. Especially the ones that don't have the best reputation and are like commonly agreed upon for being bad,
like-
because I definitely enjoy them, but I need to. I think it's just my quest to understand why I enjoy them.
I totally
guess.
get that confusion angle.
It's definitely not the best
Like-
way to spend your time. I definitely
No.
agree with that.
With like the confusion angle of it, I suppose I sort of understand it because I have a couple of films or pieces of media where I'm like that. Like I've watched The Last Jedi 5 times.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was on
the
flights,
thing is,
all right.
I've never-
Look,
It's like if I rewatch it, I at the very least never do it alone because it's just like seems.
I'll always never subject someone to like. I mean, even with films,
Yes, you will,
usually if it's
Crunchyroll.
films I
Would.
like, I'll
you,
never.
You subjected me to Thief and the Cobbler.
If it's a film I
But you
like, I'll
watched
rewatch
it?
it with someone. Like I watched Mirai with one of my friends, and I was able to better understand why I like it, even though like the structure of that movie is a bit.
how
all
many
over the
times have you
place.
seen Premiere?
4. I've seen Premiere 4 times, and I'll like on every time I think the midsection. Every time I watch Premiere, the midsection is the worst part. Like
okay, new angle to this
but the
discussion.
thing is
with
I
movies,
knew it was the worst part
like,
when I was watching it for the first time.
New
same.
angle for this
I feel the
discussion
same
with
way.
movies.
Then why are you rewatching it?
To understand why I enjoy it or why it doesn't work. And sometimes I feel the need to just rewatch it just to understand it a bit more.
But you do, like, you don't like. It's like
It's usually
for me,
like the
'cause-
pacing or something.
well, yeah, because it's like,
Especially
but then
with,
it's
like, a
just
movie.
like, well, you don't have to rewatch it again if you already know the answer to that.
I
Okay.
guess I
Speaking of
don't.
that,
Yeah,
new
okay, what's
fucking
up?
new spin, director's cuts.
Director's cuts.
Fucking no.
You won't go out of
Those
your
are
way to
poor,
watch
those
a
are just
director's cut.
those are just poor excuses for like okay.
Purchasing the film.
What level of
No, it's
what
like
level
if
of
we're
re-editing are
throwing-
we talking about? Like, because some director's cuts are like barely like patch notes type, like, oh, we've balanced
Yeah.
the sound, and
Yeah.
some are like
it's-
entirely
it's-
different pace
I
changes.
know they're doing
Yeah.
that with Tokyo Godfathers, Satoshi Kon's movie. That's going to be in theaters
Yeah.
again, and that's technically the director's. It's called a director's cut, but the director's dead. So
Yeah, so that's a little in poor taste. But like
yeah,
it's I don't think that like it's bad to like repackage them and cash in on them because we've been doing this for like years now, dude. It's
Yeah.
not. But the thing that I still don't think that I need to see it unless it makes major sweeping changes to the film. And even then, if it's like the fucking like the fucking ooh, we need the Snyder cut for Justice League or whatever. Like even if it's that, it's like I've seen enough of that film that I know that the core elements of that movie cannot possibly be made better based solely on the changes that would be made via the Snyder cut.
certainly.
It's like Suicide Squad might improve if the editing was different and slightly better,
Yeah,
but
you'd
it
have to upgrade
wouldn't
the whole editing.
be.
You still
it
like the
wouldn't
acting,
be a good
though.
movie.
Like,
Well, there's the acting. There's also like the
costume
overall
design.
story, which is it's like again you can change a bunch of that stuff on with the director's cut, but it's like generally the parts of the story that we were shown were completely boring and disinteresting. So meh.
it's why there's also this weird outside of director's cut. There's always not always. There's also this new thing that I've seen big franchises doing, where it's like
What are they doing?
after the movie is released, there's some fucking account or something, or some interviewer
This
will
is-
be
only
like,
Star
or they'll go
Wars
to
has
like a
been doing
panel,
this.
the director, and talk about details of the movie as if it's supposed to fix it. Like,
Yeah. This is
yeah.
the new thing that Star Wars is doing right
yeah,
now.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say episode 9's fucking driving me
When
up
it's
a wall
something
every
that's
fucking
meaningful,
week.
I
There's
think
a
it's.
thing.
I think when it's meaningful, like additions, I always like to. I think that's why I tend to rewatch things.
Then why is it not in the
especially things I
movie?
don't tend to enjoy? or
Exactly.
think they're the
Why is it
greatest.
not
Like,
in
I
the
watched,
fucking
like-
movie?
Well, I watched Metropolis last night, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, that was a pretty interesting, like sci-fi like film.
Yes.
It was the pacing was pretty poor.
Yes.
The animation was great, and
Welcome
I
to
felt like,
Rintaro.
why is there so much of this in the movie? And then I read a few articles, and it turns out and like I watched like 2 videos on it, and apparently it's like about proto-nationalism, of like about the in the turn of the millennium.
That's the
And
that's
it's like,
the
well,
interpretation.
of course, I wouldn't know anything about that because I don't live in Japan. I didn't grow up in Japan in the early 2000s.
Well, that's the interpretation that they're taking from the film.
Right.
But like,
But
to,
it's also
to
like
also
director's
be
interviews
fair,
and all that, yeah.
the themes of films do change over time.
Certainly.
And so it's like what you took away from the film is more important than what someone else did. It's still interesting to hear their points of view on it, but it's like
I was talking about
if
like
you-
details being like changed by the director posthumously for a
Well, what
film.
I'm
Yeah, like-
talking about is like whether or not I agree with like a director's take on what they've created. When it's like,
Well-
I guess I can kind of see how it's.
Well, then
what
that's
I'm saying
that
is-
gets
is
into death of the
theater-
author
the-
territory.
Not like I'm trying
but
to
it's
take
like
out
the
the author.
the theater release is should be the director's take.
Well,
Why-
sometimes
it's like
not
there
always.
shouldn't be a need for a fucking director's cut, and
Yeah.
it's like it's like usually my experience with the director's cut is like, let's watch Lord of the Rings, the director's cut, and then you watch a 4-hour movie and want to kill yourself.
That's
It's
most
because
directors
there's a
adding like
reason why
20
these
minutes.
things were
Yeah.
cut out.
Like, yeah.
If you want to be technical, in the loosest sense of the word or phrase, Thief and the Cobbler was like the loosest director's cut I've ever seen, because it was like the work print. If you want to,
okay, but that film is completely directional.
There's a theatrical and there's a work print.
There's a theatrical
there are like
version
3
of it
versions
which
of
is
that movie.
shit.
No, 4.
And then there's a version which the fans consider to be
The real one.
The real one.
Well,
but it's also shit.
What it is there's the theatrical version, there's the work print, and then there's 4 recobbled cuts.
What?
Yeah.
And whichever one you showed me was shit.
Maybe the other versions are better. I haven't seen the other versions yet.
I was
doubt
talking about the fucking J.J. Abrams saying fucking Leia can hear Yoda when she's dying or whatever.
I don't care. Why
It's like
that wouldn't
we
warrant a
watched-
rewatch of the movie?
We watched the version, the edit of the original trilogy that was, it edited those films together to try and make them like the original trilogy but
mean the
better.
prequel,
And the
or
thing is,
Do you mean the
the
Phantom edit?
decisions. Yeah, the Phantom edit. And the thing is, they make interesting choices, but at the end of the day, those films still suck.
Yeah.
You saw my fucking reactions during episode 2. I was going insane.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
it's like
that.
they're still bad. They still suffer from bad direction, from bad
Yes,
camera choices,
yes.
from bad effects, and it's like, well, then there's only so much that you can fix in the editing room, especially when your only options are to add or cut things.
Yeah, especially if there's like, I think some fans did that for the fucking Hobbit movies, where they made them 1 4-hour movie, which I guess is like better than the fucking 9-hour sit through, but there's still a lot of like
God,
flaws.
the
I
third
wouldn't
movie
rewatch
just-
it.
Yeah.
The third movie is literally just like a question in how much you can like push 5 pages to become a full book. It's like,
Yeah.
or a full movie. It's like, it's absurdly long.
Isn't it like what, 2 hours?
Yeah, it's
Great.
5 pages transformed into 2 hours, and you're
That's
like,
fucking.
well, we did not.
That's
do that.
Marine
that's-
Ford level.
I don't know if I would
Fucking
ever
stretching it
ever
out.
do that. But I think like when I talk about like rewatching a show or movie, even like good shows or movies, it's usually because I'm fascinated with the choices they've made. And that's not a good enough reason, especially if you want to experience as much of a culture and
you
like
can just go-
the medium as possible.
You
But when
can
I'm
just
rewatching
go
something like
to
Mary and the
the
Witch's
clip.
Flower, I'm like, why did you do that? Or something.
Yeah, but the problem.
Well, I still
is
think it's
that-
fine to see like a baffling edit if it's just a clip of the edit. I don't think I need to rewatch
Right.
the whole movie for it.
But
Why-
I tend to do
why
that just
not-
because that's how I spend my time.
Yeah, but then it's like, why not instead focus on good shit? And it's like,
Well, I do
why did you?
sometimes.
Why did you do this with the good shit, but then go and watch new shit?
I might even rather, like, if I'm going back to a show and I just want to see a clip from that show, and like the bad part, like an edit or something that was done wrong, and then I'll find
Right.
a piece of media that did it right, and I can fucking compare the 2 clips. Like, it might
Sure.
be easier to do that.
Well, I think
You
it's
probably
for
get
me
more out of
personally,
the
whenever
style
I
of
It's
the
get
like,
it.
because if you sit staring at a singular painting, pondering over the singular painting, you're going to miss the rest of the goddamn art show.
Well, that now we're talking about like because paintings are very different.
I'm
Media.
doing a fucking point!
It's
I
a
know.
metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
But we
like,
consume paintings differently than we consume. When I think about I can't just watch sequences
Yeah.
of the movie because
yeah, those paintings, they're lead
it's
based.
out of a context.
And no, you know the context.
Whatever.
You've seen the movie.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
You have the memory of the movie.
Well, I have the memory of the movie, but it won't hit as hard unless I go through like
It's not
X
supposed
amount
to.
of time.
It's not. I'm literally like, it's not going to hit as hard as the first time you watched it.
I'm
Of course,
not
it's
talking
not.
about the first time I watched it. I'm just talking
Well-
about I'd rather watch like the build up in order to have the payoff. I'd rather not watch
That
just the
okay?
payoff.
See,
Well, what type of
That
movie are we
makes
talking about? Is it
sense.
supposed to be dense? Is it like?
Yeah, it
is
depends on the
Is it
media.
a popcorn? So I don't know if there's like a
that makes
like a
sense.
one size fits all style of rewatching.
But what you're saying, Andrew, about the build-up makes sense. But the problem is that if you've experienced the build-up already, then why would you have to subject yourself to it a second time?
You don't have to. I just choose to on occasion.
Okay, why do you?
That
doesn't make
because
sense.
the build up fascinates me, I guess. even if it's a poor build-up. Because
I mean,
they're
I guess
able to
there's,
analyze what works and what doesn't.
It's
on the
it's a
second
fundamentally different type of build-up.
Or why
I
is this
guess.
objectively bad thing not bothering me? Like, Mary and the Witch's Flower has, like, no second act, and it fascinates me. Well, I guess it does in the,
No, it
in the
does.
loosest
It fucking
term of it.
does.
But it's
in,
still
like, the loosest
objectively
term.
bad.
But I don't think...
Go watch better films, for fuck's sake.
I watch better films sometimes.
'Cause the-
but
'cause it's
sometimes
like-
I'll just rewatch something.
This is like the thing of like, it's the thing where it's just like, hey man, what do you read? Harry Potter. Anything else?
No, just Harry Potter. Well, I
Well,
don't
just
rewatch
Harry Potter.
shit.
When it comes
That's
to
it.
Andrew, how many times have you seen Snow White?
At least, like, 6 times, I want to say.
And the middle part of the movie never gets any better. In fact, it gets worse because you keep putting yourself through it.
That's
It's
debatable.
like I don't.
Like-
Yeah, it's like I've rewatched The Big Short and
Well, The Big Short's
Mad
very-
Big
Max
Short's a
Fury
lot
Road
more
enough
dense
times.
than
Yeah.
The
Snow
thing
White,
is,
I think.
I think sometimes
It's like
you'll miss, like...
you-
I think for me, it's like I'll miss, like, a small detail, and
but
It's
the
worth
thing
it
is
for
that
me.
small detail is still a small detail. It's basically worthless.
it's worth it for me.
Like-
God damn it.
But it's worthless to the picture as a whole, which is if you're trying to create and tell a story, then it doesn't add that much. So why does it matter that much that you would need to spend another 2 hours to get to that point and look at it again and say it was still shit when you can just still look at it in a condensed version? Like, if you want to watch the build up to it, like a 5-minute clip of that event would probably be enough
Sure.
to just give you the context for it.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I just tend to... Like, if I'm watching Roger Rabbit, and it's like, oh yeah, you can see through his ears, because
Yeah.
his skin is thinner, like a real rabbit's. It's
Yes.
like, wait, is that like that for the whole movie? I guess I gotta rewatch it, and it's less of a pain in the ass. than
No!
15
Well,
minutes.
I don't know. Is it like, are we talking about flaws with the film, or are we being pedants? Like,
I don't know.
It's
don't
like,
know.
it's almost pedantry at that point.
It depends on the
Is-
film.
Well,
Like,
okay,
obviously,
or
I'm
it's
not gonna
like,
put myself through
okay,
like shitty films.
here's the
that
one,
I've
a little bit
seen.
of spoilers for Hunter x Hunter, but it's like,
Oh, sure.
it's okay. There's like, you know that part where Kurapika needs to like help Gon, and for the first time and the only time in the entirety of the show you hear his footsteps.
yeah.
Yes.
Are you saying, Andrew, that you would rewatch the entirety of Hunter x Hunter just to listen to sounds that Kurapika are in?
Well, we were talking about
just to
different
make
mediums.
sure that they never accidentally added footsteps.
It depends on if I have the time to kill.
That
Like,
sound
I don't-
okay.
Okay.
That is crazy. You are
Okay.
insane.
Ben, we were talking about movies. First of all,
I'm talking. It's really. We were really talking about any forms
Yeah,
of media.
any form.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
Like,
if we
I
want
know
to pick apart
one
every
of the
one
jokes
them,
between us
then,
recently is
like I was doing the comics thing.
one of the jokes between us three recently is I've become just a musical nut
Yes.
recently. But there's only so many times I can listen to Hamilton before it's like, okay, that's enough.
Clearly not.
I mean, I'm getting there. I really am.
But it's like, but even
it's a good way
okay,
to,
but
it's
even
a good way
like
to pass the
your
time, is what I'm saying.
yeah, but I'm saying that like even like your threshold for that's enough is so much further than ours, which
think
is
that's-
so
I think
bizarre
that's
to
it.
me.
I think that
Yeah.
might be it.
That is it.
Yeah.
It's like
I think my threshold
so-
is just stupidly large.
that's crazy. You're insane.
I mean, if I'm rewatching it for like a third time, I'll have it on in the background while I'm doing something else, like
I
productive.
guess like
Like if I'm
sure.
doing line art for an animation, I'll put on like an entire show to like get it
Yeah.
out of the way, because then you can just like entertain your brain with something, and then it'll be like, wait, oh, here's the part, and I've experienced the whole build up like I wanted to, like an idiot, and I'll be like, yeah, they did add that sound effect in part 4. Like, and they changed it for this part here, and yeah, that animation mistake is here, so I guess they didn't have time like they did here. I guess the midsection wasn't as well produced. And then you read interviews about like if I'm watching something like Gangsta, and you read about how like terrible the production was, and it's like, oh, the production wasn't that bad, and then you see like what they had to cut or whatever, and then it's like,
Well,
yeah,
that's
okay.
because
That's
Andrew, that's because when I read an article that cites its sources about a bad production, I don't immediately deny it outright
Well, it depends.
and go
because a lot of people's
no,
like,
you're wrong.
a lot of people's idea of production being bad because they'll say like Sword Art Online has great animation, and they do in places. But usually it's like a filter added in like After Effects.
Well, if it's that form of
the
discussion,
animation is great.
it's because they don't. It's because no one's going to know that they're using a non-exclusive definition of great animation.
Exactly. I think it's just I'd rather see
Well,
for
yeah.
myself and analyze it to a stupid
Because
degree.
it's like, because your definition of animation isn't just what's being shown on the screen, and
Right.
theirs is.
Yeah.
It's like by the definition of people who don't know where animation begins and ends, they would also say that like this manga page has great animation.
I mean, it depends on the type of animation you're talking about.
You know what I'm
know.
talking about.
Well, if there wasn't an
I'm
anime
talking
movie
about
from the
fucking
60s that was just manga
non-animation
pages,
majors.
Okay.
Just like I have to put up with non-film majors not knowing what the fuck they're talking about.
Right. But that's
And
just the
It's
nature
like,
of
hey,
the audience.
hey, do you know how every single fucking time that the camera moves, it's a pan?
Yeah.
Pan in, pan out, pan up, pan over.
Zoom
Pan
in,
over
zoom
is
out.
the only one.
Just like how I know that fucking
Shot over
people,
shot.
no, like if we're talking about just analyzing, just people with horrible media comprehension tend to be the people who make the loudest fucking stinks
Oh
about
yeah,
things.
I went to the My
shocking.
Hero Academia movie. I saw that twice actually, and usually it's the
Why?
second. I guess also it's the second watch of a film that's.
Andrew, I love how you
complain
complain that you never have any money and yet gleefully spend $10 a night on going to see fucking Hero Aka twice because I gotta see it for this reason, and it's like, man, if you weren't spending like if it was only your time that you were spending on this, I'd be at least half okay with it. Not that you need my permission, but still.
Yeah, so
Stop.
what the people I went with, they were like, the one person went, the film is bad, and I went, why? Because it was this, and it's like, well, okay, but I'm not gonna, I don't know, I'd rather rewatch it to get my opinion
But you saw it twice.
better. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you've already seen it.
Yeah,
You
well,
know.
I'll see it again,
You know what your opinion
to be
is.
sure. And
What do you mean to be sure?
Maybe I'll see the English dub, and I'll see like their take on the material,
But
and that adds rewatch value
Oh my god,
for me.
that's so crazy.
I've seen Megalobox twice. I saw it subbed and dubbed,
That is crazy.
and I'll be like, oh yeah, this pacing is bad. Or like, oh yeah, this section was more engaging because the actor's take on it was different.
well, that might be marginally more valid, Ben, because apparently different qualities of subs and dubs can just ruin media for people. It depends on the media,
Sure, I guess,
like length
but, like,
and junk, I guess.
but it's like
I'm
overall.
watching a bunch of old movies
as,
right now, and I can safely say that I'd see most of them maybe one more time ever, like Haku Jaden from like the 1960s.
58.
I'll probably see one more time because it's not very good.
Well,
But
it's like,
I think it's
I
worth
saw-
studying just on
Okay,
like
Andrew,
why did they
we've-
make these
we've-
choices.
We've both seen this French art film, and it's like, I saw Cleo Sankasen the first time, like, last year.
Yeah.
Do you think that you ever have to watch that film again?
Nah.
No!
Like,
Because that is a boring film that is also brilliant that you just never have to watch again.
like with there's more to the movie than the first impressions that I'll have when I'm actually engaging in it.
Right.
And even
Yeah, but those
even
first-
like rewatches, because we
See,
live in
my
a day and
thing-
age now where you can literally just study the thing. Like I had my personal
See,
examples.
the
I
thing
thought
is-
Dunkirk was fucking boring when I first saw it because I was a dummy, and
Yeah.
then I haven't rewatched it since, but I immensely appreciate it now because I can fucking look up.
But those initial
how it's
impressions
made,
are
the
also
clip.
important from a consumerist angle because if
Exactly.
you're trying to
Yeah.
because if you're trying to make a film that sells well and like, you know, make a fucking living, then you have to make a film that's good on the first impression.
I can think
Exactly.
like,
Which-
why did I find it so boring? I don't think I have to rewatch it necessarily. I might,
Mm-hmm.
like, depending on if I want to. But I'm
it's why-
probably better with looking up clips from it.
Cause my thing is, if I watch a film for the first time without having any prior knowledge of like the story that's going to happen in it.
Yeah.
It's like that experience is going to be somewhat tainted for me. So if I go in knowing what's happening, I can then better appreciate for the first time the technical aspects of the film and why the technical aspects of that film work. Whereas if I'm going in for the first time completely fresh, I'm not going to enjoy the film as much. And that's just me personally. I know that's crazy, but like...
Well, it depends on the person.
Also, I don't have to... But the main thing is, at least I don't have to watch it again.
Then you get, like, those special movies that have alternate endings.
Oh,
Like-
we're not even going to touch that.
Well,
That's
it's
a
like...
whole other conversation.
Here's the thing. I don't think I ever have to rewatch Knives Out. Because that movie is basically memorized for me. I knew what was going to happen. I walked into the theater... I knew every single story beat, every single hidden little mystery and character thing because I had read it on fucking Wikipedia.
Oh.
And then I watched it and I was like, oh wow, this is a really well like directed film. And there are moments from it where I remember it's like, that's a really cool storytelling beat, that's something that I like. And then I came home and I'm like, cool, I've internalized this and now I will steal it for future use.
Yeah. I guess the way I'd process it is, okay, this film was kind of boring. The animation was nice, but why did they make these editing choices? I guess I have to watch it again and really break it down like Adams.
But it's like...
like I'm Adam splitting this movie into little chunks.
But the thing is that the answer to that question will just appear in an interview. And most of the time, the question of why was this choice made, the answer is usually really fucking boring.
Yes. They, like Hakujata, and they were trying to be Disney of the East in the 60s.
Yeah, or it's just like, I don't know, man, we didn't have enough time.
Or
And
it's
that's
like, why is this plot beat? Oh, Tezuka had a falling out with the people working at Toei Animation, and that's why the ending feels very rushed.
Sure. Or like, hey, let's talk about episode 6 of Gunbuster.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh my god, yeah.
What was the situation
But
with
at the
that?
same time,
Like,
but the same thing is like, the problem is that the first time that I watched the ending of Gunbuster, I knew what had happened between Anno and Gainax. I knew why it had happened, and
Right.
I knew
Cedric
why it
doesn't
was
know what
shit.
happened, by
what
the way.
happened?
Shit. Do we tell him?
Sure.
No, I know
He's seen it.
Gunbuster,
He's
the
seen
story.
it.
What happened between fucking Anno and Gainax with that particular thing?
Basically, they sucked money out of him.
Yeah.
Or they basically, it's like the last episode, or the 5th episode was,
Which is the big fight
Like-
scene.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, it's the big one. It's so cool and so great. It's like Gunbuster at its height.
Yes.
And then then Gainax was like, yeah, you don't get time or money to do episode 6.
Yeah.
And it's like ultimately if like that's what led to him making Evangelion.
It was one of the factors, I'm sure.
And now we know that he didn't want to do that Evangelion with Gainax, which is another crazy thing.
Right.
Sure.
See, that's a perfect example. With like new developments coming out, I don't think I need to rewatch Gunbuster again and then
Yeah.
get
Well, there's
something.
The only
Part of me
reason
that
why I
does.
rewatched Gunbuster recently is because I completely forgotten everything about it.
Oh, really?
But that's because that's because I watched it first back in like 2010.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Close.
Yeah,
only
so
watched
it's
that,
like,
like, a year ago.
the main thing that is that I am rewatching a bunch of shows, but that's only because I watched them back when I was a kid and didn't have the same perspective as I do now.
Right.
I don't rewatch shit the second I finish it.
I don't
or, like,
usually either.
a
I'll
week
usually
later.
give it a while.
Yeah, like a week, like you
maybe like
you
a
did
month
with
or
the
two.
Hiroaka film. But even then, with
They
the
release a new
Hiroaka film, you were at
Hiroaka
least
film
going to
every
see it
week.
with people. You were at least going to see it with people. Like,
Yeah.
would you actually go alone to a theater and watch it again?
I watched it
That's
alone
what
the
I
first
did
time,
with
and
The
then I
Last
watched
Yeah,
it
I know
Jedi.
you watched it alone
second
the first time. Would you do that again?
Probably not. I'd rather rent it when it's out for like
See?
$2 on YouTube.
Why would you rent it on... Why would you spend money? What the fuck are you talking about?
I'd watch it on a stable platform. It's just convenient. I don't know. Rather than having to hunt it down.
Piracy is morally correct when the service that pirates are providing is better than the service that the distributor is providing.
I agree.
Which means
I'm just
if
like
if
convenience.
Lego makes the new Lego Mario set expensive, you should definitely steal it.
You're just put an axe in that
Yeah,
conversation.
it's been 30 fucking minutes.
I mean, it's a big
Eh.
conversation. There's a
Yeah.
lot
It is
to go.
a big conversation about like the nature of art and shit. So,
Yeah, we
yeah,
could go
no.
in many different directions, but let's
Oh,
talk
God,
about
yeah.
Mario.
Use a
Lego version.
VPN
Nor,
to
by
watch
the way,
Ghibli
nor are we
on
professionals.
Netflix.
We're still
you-
learning about art. Yada yada yada.
Yes. Anywho,
We're still learning how to create shit. Lego Mario.
It's
what
a
is
him.
going on? I've seen like an image
It's
of
just
this.
Lego Mario. They're releasing a Lego Mario set.
Yeah.
What do I say about it?
It looks lamer than you'd think.
Yeah,
Like
What do I have to
it's
say
like
about this?
it's well
it
okay.
exists. Like,
I don't know. It's I think it's funny.
yeah,
I mean, it's very redundant to me. Like Lego
It
Batman.
is.
It's like why
It-
would
but
I
it's
why
like-
did I use the
Lego
Lego
Mario.
version
Okay.
when I can just play Mario?
But
Andrew.
yeah, I know, right?
it's like a toy set. It's not a video game.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
you
but it's a
have-
game.
Yeah, but you have like amiibos as well.
No, said you're both of you are missing out on the fact that it's a game.
Is it a game?
Hang on.
It's a Lego set, right?
It's not a video game. It's a board game.
That's what I
It's a
said. It's a
board game?
fucking Lego set.
Why would I?
Yes.
Don't they have Mario board games though?
fucking
They have
oh
Mario
my God.
Monopoly.
Hang on. I'm sending you this shit so that you get it.
I have no reason to play with Lego Mario.
No one does. That's not my
True.
I'm
know
saying
it's a
look at this
children's
stupid
toy.
bullshit. Here it is. It's in Discord. Just look
Lego
at it.
Mario
It's
time.
dumb.
Lego Mario, look at me.
Look at it. It's
What is
dumb.
this? Yeah.
Oh God, it has sound.
He's too square.
Like, look at this.
Oh my god, is it? What the
Look
hell?
at that's it. That's all you get. It's just an overexpensive piece of shit.
I think I'll fuck with the Lego Mario and make him the thumbnail.
Is
The
it
what?
What?
The Lego Mario.
Oh, is that what or
Yeah.
Mario?
It seems
Mario.
really overexpensive for what it is.
Yeah, it's like it's an overpriced. It's like the Minecraft Legos. You remember how expensive that shit was?
Yeah.
It's like it's getting crazy
That's-
expensive to get like Legos, but this just seems like pointless.
That's a lot for what that is.
Yeah,
They have Mario board games.
it's
Didn't Shigeru Miyamoto say something somewhere recently that he wanted Nintendo to be like Disney?
That's
Yeah.
literally what we discussed like a month ago, I
Oh my
think.
god.
yeah. I
hope-
think we talked about that.
Yeah,
It's like that's scary.
Yeah, I
Ew.
hope that does not happen. And speaking of
Yeah.
Disney, should we talk about Soul?
It
No.
looks better than we originally thought.
Yeah.
Speaking of, but I think more importantly, speaking of Mario.
What's with Mario?
Oh.
Oh,
Wah!
That's the fucking thumbnail. I'm gonna
That's the
fucking do that.
thumbnail.
please.
Wah!
That's actually awesome. That actually did shock me
Waluigi,
at
help
first,
me
'cause he
kill
has
the
claws.
coronavirus.
What are we calling this episode?
That Waluigi, help me kill the coronavirus.
Alright.
You could call it.
No, we got it. It's fine.
Okay.
Too late.
Yeah.
Bye.
Wait, no, there's one more.
Is there one more?
This one, I don't know if you've seen this one or not, but...
What?
Wah!
Fucking Jesus.
Links to the pictures in the description.
And if you're listening to us on
on
iTunes.com,
Where can you find us?
by the
Where can you
no,
find
you can
us?
download it for free on iTunes.com.
where can you find us on Twitter? Not yet.
Not yet, Andrew.
No, individually. Where can you find us?
You can find me at the fucking bottom of a barrel.
No, where
waiting
can
for
you
the-
actually find?
waiting for the virus to blow
You
over.
can find us at I am fucking dead on twitter.com.
There you go. What about you, Cedric?
Is that your at?
Yeah, that's my at. My main name is someone kill me. My at is I am fucking DED on Twitter, and my picture
Is the Animorphs?
is the ant animorph halfway through. My most recent post is fuck BTS stans.
All
Alright.
Where can they find you, Cedric?
At SedDraws on Twitter.
Cool. You can find me at... Can you cut the episode there?
All of my...
You use your full name in your fucking ad.
What an age we live in, huh, Snake?